Good evening, everyone. To all my students, in this video, I'll be showing you likewise, I'll be teaching you likewise, showing you the correction to our previous assignment. So, for my students, you understand what I'm trying to say. I've given you this assignment before, and I was expecting you to do your correction. But in this video, I'll be showing you the correction to this assignment. On my screen here, you can see an Excel worksheet being displayed in which we have our tables and we have the question given to us. In our tables, we are given employment ID, name, department, basic salary, housing, transport, bonus, etc. Just like that. Then you can see the cell above my housing cell, you can see 8%. Then the cell above transport, you can see 6%. The cell above bonus, you can see 20%, and so on and so forth. So looking at it at the top of my worksheet here, you can see the question given to us here. Housing, they said housing equals to 8% of basic salary. Okay. Transport, they say 6% of basic salary. Okay. Bonus, they say 2% of basic, and so on and so forth. But when we now look down here in this table given to us below here, we can see basic. We're only given the only column that was filled here was only basic salary for all the staffs. Tony, John, Wale, and so on and so forth. You can see their salary listed here from number 1 to 7. So that means that the only cell being filled up here is what? Is the basic salary column. So we are asked to what? Derive all other answers from this particular basic salary based on the question at this top of my screen here. You can see housing. They say housing, 8% of basic salary what will be our what housing for all the staffs, for all the staff. So what we are going to do here is very simple. It's very simple. Please, I want you to pay detailed attention to every steps carried out or performed in this video. Thank you very much. So to find our 8% of the basic salary of Tony, John, Wale, and so on and so forth. So the first thing we are going to do, we have two steps. Then the first step is what you do. You type it with your hand. Locate your keyboard. Type it equals to what 8%, 8% asterisk 8% of asterisk means multiplication of what of 50,000, which is 50,000 given to us. So please close your bracket. So you close your bracket here, close your bracket also, then you click enter. 8% of what? 50,000. So we got our answer here was we are given our answer here was for 4,000. Okay, that's the first method you can use to derive your answer. Most of you will be wondering. Then the second method is what? Using keyboard function. Then second method is what? We are asked to look for 8% of the basic salary of Mr. John. We've gotten Tony. So Mr. John, what I'm going to do is what? Equals to what? Highlight the what? This cell where your 8% is. Highlight on it. Then asterisk times what? Times that asterisk means multiplication times what? The basic salary of Mr. John, which is 40,000. You highlight on the cell 40,000. Don't forget you have to close your bracket. Close your bracket. Then you click enter. Good. So this is the second method you use. Then you can see that we also have you can see in this question that we need to also fill up the remaining columns under what? Housing. The remaining cell under housing column. So you can see that for us to fill it up, there is a easy way of doing it. Instead of us typing or inputting the formula for each of them one after the other, we can just simply copy the formula we use for what? For John, and apply it to the rest of the cell to make our work easier and faster. So to do that, what we do is what? We double click on the cell, and one thing you notice that our formula is what? 8% multiplied by what? 8% multiplied by what? 40,000. So in this column, we notice that one particular digit or value is constant. You can see all the basic salary under housing must what? We must look for the 80% of all the basic salary. That means that our 8% is what? Is the constant value here. So that means that for us to look for the 8% of all the salaries here, so what we do is what? We go to the what? The cell. The name of the cell for this 8% is called what? Is called, right here you can see it. The name of the cell is called F8. F8. So what you do is you look go to F8. In between F and 8, you click on it. You can see your cursor is blinking on it. So you press F4 to lock that particular that particular cell. This is our constant value. It is our constant value. It must not vary because it's 8%. 8% is applicable to all the cells under housing column. So once you say 8% and you press your F4, what you now have to do is to click enter. So once you've done that, we can now successfully copy the formula and apply it to the rest of the empty cell under housing column. So the next thing is you highlight on the cell which is a 3,200, then bring your mouse quietly to the edge of this place. Once you bring your mouse here, you see that your mouse will change to a cross sign or plus sign. Then you use your left hand to hold your left mouse, then use your right hand to drag all through down successfully. Can you see that we've successfully calculate the 8% of all basic salary starting from Mr. Tony, John, Wale, Chinwe, Grace, Agu and Carl. So then the next step is we are asked to, the second question says 6% of basic salary. So we are looking for, this time around is 6%. It's still the same approach or method we use similarly. The first one, you use the manual one which is typing, equals to, then you equals to 6%. You type your 6%, multiply by, which is the asterisk. Always take note of your asterisk means multiplication in Excel. Then multiply by the basic salary for Mr. Tony, because we are looking for transport from basic salary of Mr. Tony, because the information given to us, transport 6% of basic salary, so it still boils down to the basic salary. So you align to so you type 40,000, because the basic salary of Mr. Tony is 50,000. Since we are working with Mr. Tony for now, 50,000. Then don't forget to close your bracket. Close your bracket and click enter. So congratulations, the basic salary, the transport for Mr. Tony is is 30,000 naira. So Mr. Tony pay 30,000 naira for his transport. So the next method we use is the shortcut formula, which is equals to highlight on the cell which is 6%. Cell, the name of the cell is G8. Highlight on the cell, then multiply by, which is the asterisk. Then asterisk can be located close to your 1 2 3 4 your 1 2 3 button, your numeric button that is at the top of your keyboard. Then highlight on we are looking for Mr. John basic salary, which is 40. Highlight on the cell which is 40, right? Highlight on the cell. Then don't forget to open your bracket and close your bracket. You put your bracket in between, then you close it, then you click enter. You see, congratulations, we've successfully find the 6% of 6% the transport. We've successfully find the transport for Mr. John. So you can see that, so these two methods is also applicable. So the remaining cell, we have to look for 6% of the basic salary for the remaining cell. So what we need to do is, instead of us inputting the formula one after the other, what we just have to do is to do copy the formula and apply it to the rest. So how to do that is you highlight on the nearest on the cell that we've already done, the formula that we use to derive the Mr. Tony transport, Mr. John transport. Then double click on it. You can see the formula here, which is G8. One thing that is constant in this column is the question says 6% is the constant value here, because every basic salary, we have to look for the 6% of every basic salary given to us, one out from Tony to Carl. So since we've gotten the formula for Mr. John and we've gotten our answer, what we have to do, that since 6% is the constant value, we have to lock it. You bring your mouse in between that G8, which is the formula for that cell of 6% here. In between that G8, you highlight on it and press your F4 to lock it. Once you lock it, then you click enter. Automatically we've already locked our formula, so we can now copy and replicate the formula to get the remaining answer for the empty cells, which is here. So you drag it down all through. Congratulations. So we've looked for the 3 point, we've looked for the percentage 6%. So the next thing, we do the same thing for here, equals to 2%. So this time around I will be a bit fast, so try to catch up. 6% of what? Of 50,000. 1, 2, 3. 50,000. Don't forget, remove your bracket. Open your bracket, you move your comma, just open your bracket and close your bracket, you click enter. Then the next one will come again, equals to what? This cell 2%, then multiply asterisk by what? 40. 40, right? You don't forget your bracket also, you open your bracket, you close your bracket, then you click enter. So for us to copy this formula, you double click on it. One thing that is constant, the value that is constant in this column is what? 2%, because we have to look for 2%. Our bonus is what? 2% of every, based on the question at the top of my screen here at row 5, 2% of basic salary. So our constant value here is what? To the 2%. So we will locate the cell name here, which is H8 here. Then you put your mouse in between H8, then click on it. You see your cursor blinking in between, you lock it, F4, lock it. Once you lock it, click enter. Congratulations, we've locked the formula. So what you now do, you drag your mouse to this edge here where your cursor will change to plus, you drag it down. Congratulations, we've looked for what? Our bonus is what? 2% of all the basic salary, which is what we've gotten here. Then the next thing talks about monthly gross pay. There are also different, there's two methods in which you can use to derive your answer. The first method is what? This is the shortcut method. Look on your keyboard, locate Alt, where ALT, Alt is, then press Alt. Then at the top of your screen, close to the top of your screen where your numeric value is, you see plus sign. Press Alt and plus. You can see that the formula will automatically be generated. That is to say, it's going to calculate the monthly gross what? Monthly gross pay. We can look at the question here. We are at row 6 here where my mouse is pointing at. Gross pay is what? Addition of basic housing, transport and bonus. So looking at here, Mr. Tony, for us to get the gross pay for Mr. Tony, we have to add what? Basic salary, housing, transport and bonuses, which is the shortcut formula I've given to you. Alt and plus automatically what? Help you to what? To add them up, then you click enter. Then the other method that you can use is the manual method, which is equal to sum, then press your tab, then highlight the cell manually with your hand, then hold your shift, then hold your arrow, your right arrow key button, press it to highlight on it, then close your bracket and click what? Enter. You can see that we've already added our monthly gross what? Our monthly gross pay. Then for us to make our work easier, instead of us doing it one after the other, we just have to copy the same formula. So what you do is you drag your mouse to this edge here, hold your left mouse button, then use your right hand to highlight on the remaining empty cell, then drag it down. Automatically you've gotten our monthly gross pay. Then there's one thing I want you to pay attention to, take note in this assignment. If you can look at this pension column, you can see at the top of your pension column you can see 8%, and at the top of 8% you can see deduction. So it simply means, what they're just trying to tell us, that 8% deduction from the what? From the when you look at the question of at pension here, you see where my mouse is pointing at, pension says what? 8% of basic housing and transport. That is to say, after adding our housing, transport, our basic salary, housing and transport together, we will look for the what? The 8% of the sum of, or by summing up the three together, we will look for the 8%. That's how to get the pension. But one thing you need to take note of, they say that what? Deduction of the 8%. Now after looking for the 8%, you will now deduct it from the what? Initial summation of what? Of basic salary, housing and transport. That is what? 8% deduction. After looking for the 8% of basic salary, housing and transport, you will now deduct it from the initial addition of it. So there are two. There's a method I'm going to show you that I'm going to use to do it, which is what is typing. So what you do is what? You put your word equals to, right? So they say we should first sum it up, then sum, sum what? We are summing it up, sum. For Mr. Tony, we want to find the pension. So we highlight what? The cell. They say what? Summation of basic salary, housing and transport, which is those three. Then you close your bracket, right? Minus, it's called, they say, deduction. Don't forget this here. It's a 8% deduction. So you have to deduct it. Then minus what? Minus Den 8% itself, which is the 8%, which is dis what, which is dis cell here. You can see the 8%, click on your 8% here. 8% multiply by asterisk, den sum of what, sum, hold on your sum of dis same cell again, 1, 2, 3. Are you lis ten ing? Den close your bracket. So you can see dat we've derived our what, we derived our answer. So once you come here now, you click enter. For those that no understand, you suppose to understand what I'm trying to do now. So you click what, enter. So you can see that our pension is what, 52,440 what, naira. That's the pension for Mr. Tony. So to get the remaining pension for the remaining customer or the remaining workers that are being paid their salary, what you have to do, you have to double click on this cell. So in order to bring out the formula, we double click on it. And so for us to copy the formula now and apply it to the remaining empty cell below, so what we do is what, we will look for the constant. What is the constant value here? Is 8%. The constant value says 8%. So that means that 8%, for us to get the pension for all the remaining what, all the remaining staff, is what, the constant value there is 8%. So what we do is what, the cell for 8% is called what, is what, J8. You can see it here, J8. So you bring your mouse to where in between J8, click on it, make sure your cursor is blinking in between that J8, lock it, F4. Once you've locked it, you click what, enter. Once you click your enter, so you can now copy the formula now since you've locked it. Then you now write, you drag your mouse to this edge here, your cursor turn to a plus or plus sign, then you drag it down. Automatically what, you've found what, the pension. So our pension for Mr. Tony up to Mr. Carl has been determined. Thank you very much. Then the next thing is what, 2.50%, 2.50%, which is 2.5%. So 2.5% of what? To get our NHF, the question says what? 2.5 of what? Basic salary, which is 2.5, okay, of basic salary. They say 2.5 for basic salary, which you all know. So what we do next is what? We are looking for 2.5 for basic salary for all the staff. So we start with Mr. Tony. We still use the same method. We have two methods. We still use anyone you want to use, anyone you prefer. So what you do is what? You just type it, 2 equals what? 2 point what? 5 what? Percent. 2.5% multiplied by what, which is your asterisk, by what, 50,000 for Mr. Tony. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to put your bracket. If you like to put your bracket, as I open your bracket, open and close bracket is very compulsory to avoid errors. So you now click what, enter. So our 2.5% is what, we've gotten our 2.5%. Then the other method is a manual, which is a keyboard shortcut. All you just have to do is highlight on this cell, then asterisk it, which is multiply by, asterisk means multiplication by. So the next one is Mr. John. So we are looking for Mr. John. Highlight on the cell 40, which is the basic salary. Then what? Don't forget to open and close your bracket. Open and close your bracket. Close your bracket, click enter. So you can see that we discover our what, NHF for Mr. what, for Mr. John. So it remains the remaining cell now. It remains Mr. Wale and Co. So this empty cell, we have to fill it up to find the what, the NHF, which is the what, 2.5%. For us to do this one, instead of us doing it one after the other, we just have to do is to what, copy the formula. For us to copy the formula, we have to lock it so as to avoid error, because what is constant in this cell, in this column is what, is 2.5%. Total 2.5% is the constant value. So we double click on it. So the name of the cell for 2.5% is what, the name of the cell is K8. So K8, you move your mouse in between K8, click on it, make sure your mouse is blinking, your cursor is blinking in between it, lock it, lock it. Once you've locked it, click enter. So now that you have locked it, now you can now copy the formula easily. So once you bring your mouse to this edge, it changes to plus sign, then drag it all through down. Automatically you see that what, you've discovered your what, you find that the NSF is for the what, for each of the what, of the customer, of the staff. Then payee says what, payee says 7% of monthly gross pay, 7% of monthly gross pay. 7% of monthly gross pay is simple as ABC. So you do the same thing, equals to what? 7% asterisk. What is our monthly gross pay? Our monthly gross pay is 58,000. 58,000. 1, 2, 3. 58,000. You close your bracket, open and close your bracket. Always remember 58,000. Then you click your enter. Then you go, what you get is 4,060 naira. Then use the other method, which is equals to what? Highlight on what? Highlight on this 7%. Once you highlight on 7%, right? Asterisk, always click your asterisk. Then we are looking for Mr. what? John now. Mr. John. So you click on the cell, which is 40,000. 40,000 is the basic salary for Mr. John. Then you open and close your brackets. Always close your bracket. So you click enter. So for us to copy this formula now, you see the same approach we will use. Sorry, we made a mistake. We really made a mistake. So what I was supposed to do initially was to what? The mistake was it was monthly gross pay, not basic salary. Our monthly gross pay is this. Our monthly gross pay is this. So let me redo it now. Sorry for the mistake. So we have to redo it again, which is what? Equals to 7%, right? Asterisk our what? Gross pay, monthly gross pay. That was this formula, that was they asked us to do. Monthly gross pay. So you close your bracket, open your bracket here, then close your bracket here, then click enter. So we've gotten it. So for us to copy the formula and for us to derive our payee for the remaining cell here, we have to copy this formula. For us to copy the formula, we have to lock it. So we have to, what is constant here is still 7%. So you put your mouse in between L8, then lock it. F4, press F4 to lock it, then click enter. Then you can now copy your formula now successfully. So you drag your mouse here, then pull it down. Thank you very much. So we've done that. Then the next one is what? Total what? Total deduction. The total deduction, the formula for total deduction is what? Pension plus NSS plus payee. So there are three ways of doing it. She said pension, abi, NSS plus payee. Very simple. So you got to equals to what? Sum. Press your tab button. So what is our pension for Mr. Tony? This is our pension for Mr. Tony. Then hold your shift, drag your right arrow, then NFH2, then plus payee. You close your what? Close your bracket. What? You click what? And for our, that's for our total deduction is what? Addition of the three. So you click what? Enter. So we've done that. So to complete the minimum, we have to do is to what? We copy the formula and apply it to the rest. We drag it down. Automatically we've derived the what? The total deduction. Total deduction is just the addition of the what? Addition of the rest. So the last but not the least is net pay. So the formula, the question for our net pay here is very simple. Our net pay, they say our net pay is what? Monthly gross pay minus total deduction. Monthly gross pay minus total deduction. So that's how to get our net pay. So you put equals to our monthly gross pay, which is this, which is this. Okay, our monthly gross pay, which is this. Okay, our monthly gross pay is what? 58,000, right? 58,000 minus our total deduction. Total deduction is what? 57,750. 50 total deduction 57,750. Close your bracket, click your enter. So you can see our answer is what? 250. Our answer is 250. If you want to do it another way around, you can say what? You can say equals to, yeah, equals to our monthly gross pay for Mr. John is now this one, highlight on the cell, minus cell. Okay, you can put your bracket if you like. Put your bracket minus, then which other one? This total deduction. Then you close your what? Close your bracket. Then click enter. You can see our answer is what? 200, which is correct. So you can see that 200, which is correct. So what we do is you click enter. Let's see whether we can copy this formula. So what you do is I'll come here, we drag it down. Yeah. So congratulations, we've successfully what completed the correction to our assignment. For those that don't still understand, I would advise you to go over this video once again. Take your time, go over it, study it, and you will understand. Then the last but not the least is how to format your your columns to design it in a way that you look attractive like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use um employees ID column, name column and department column to demonstrate how I design these others columns for you. So what I do is I write on the column I want to design, which is here. Hold your shift button, drag your down arrow button, then I write on the two. Then you go to what? Go to home. Under home, you can see some sub tab here. Then click on what you see conditional formatting. This is what conditional formatting. So you select any type of conditional formatting you prefer. So you come here, you come here, you click here, see conditional formatting. Okay, let's see this one too. Let's see this one. Under conditional formatting too. Conditional formatting, we just choose the one that is we prefer. We prefer conditional formatting. We prefer this one, conditional formatting. So conditional formatting. You can choose any type. You can choose any type. In fact, I prefer this type of conditional formatting. You can use let me use this one, conditional form of formatting. Okay, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So you aligned on this one, conditional formatting. I'm sorry, I made a mistake, so I have to correct my mistakes. For conditional formatting, okay, she chooses arrow. Mm, conditional formatting. Why is not applicable? It's supposed to be applicable. It's not applicable. Okay, as you can see here, I think that's all for now. If you feel like formatting it, you can just format it with any of these. Right now, I'm having issue with my keyboard, but I want you to just try it out on your own. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos and for more tips. Good day, class.